Hi, my name is Fabian Pineiro. I am the mechanical engineer at SOFWERX, and today we're going to be doing a 3D printing scenario. We're going to show you actually how to go from the steps from modeling to slicing all the way to 3D printing. So let's get to it. So for our 3D printing walkthrough, we're going to be making a connectable block using SOLIDWORKS, which is the modeling software we use here at SOFWERX. So we're going to start off by making a sketch here, make a rectangle, and we're going to give it some 2D dimensions. First, let's make sure that we are in millimeters, grams, and seconds. That way everything scales properly. And then we're going to need some small posts for the actual upper blocks to connect to the lower ones. The cool thing about SOLIDWORKS is that you can actually do what's called relations. You can set all the circles equal to each other's size. That way, if you size one, they all size together. And then you can also tell it, hey, stay on this line, and make these horizontal. Now we're gonna space these out properly, and we could just do another 8 millimeters between the middle and the far, but we'll just do 16 between these two. Let's make sure that these guys aren't solid, so we're gonna offset them as well. All right, and now we're ready to give it some volume, so we're gonna do an extrusion, and let's give it a height. So we'll be sketching on the top layer now. We're gonna give this block a lid and some posts for it to connect to the lower part of the next block if we were to print multiple blocks, and that way we can make a small toy. And now let's make the top posts by making a couple more circles. We actually have a small sketch feature that'll actually let us just copy and paste this circle multiple times in one direction. And we're only gonna need a height of 1.8 millimeters. The check mark. And we've made a connecting block. Now we can go ahead and move over to the slicing software. We're gonna slice it. That way the actual 3D printer has G-code to start creating the part from. G-code is the programming language that 3D printers can understand. That way it can know its position, when it has to extrude, how much it has to extrude at a time. And a slicing software simply reads your model, creates every single layer, and creates its own coordinates in G-code. So once you're ready, go ahead and import the actual model onto the splicing software. Now you just kind of want to orient the part in a way that's easy to 3D print. So here we're just going to go into edit, and we're going to place the surface. We want this surface here to be against the bed. If you wanted to make more, we could just, in this case, control copy and paste multiple blocks. And then we have a button that automatically organizes everything for us in the best way. We'll do 6 blocks. Different plastics actually melt at different temperatures. ABS, for example, will melt at around 220 degrees Celsius, and PLA will melt around 195 degrees Celsius. Depending what material you're gonna print, whether it is ABS, PLA, make sure your temperatures are set properly. The reason the bed plate temperature actually has to be hotter is so that you get proper adhesion between that first layer and the plate. If not, you're gonna get some weird warping issues, and your part is actually gonna curve. Once it's all set, we're gonna hit prepare to print. It'll automatically create all the layers for us and create our G-code. So as you can see, our layer is all here. You can actually kind of look through each layer as it's formed. It looks like we're actually gonna need some kind of support material. We can tell that there's nothing really holding that roof up. So we're gonna go into support, generate support, 50% support, should be more than enough. I'm gonna prepare to print. And then once you're all set, you're gonna hit save to disk. This depends what kind of printer you have. You might have a printer that only takes SD cards, micro SD cards. In my case, I have a printer that takes a USB. Once we're done, we'll go ahead and move over to the printer, upload the file, and we'll get to printing. So we're on the third step of our 3D printing process. We went ahead, modeled and spliced our connecting block, and we're gonna go ahead and 3D print it. We got our USB in with the G-code that we just uploaded. And depending on your 3D printer, there's different ways to actually get it to print. In this case, we're using the Ultimaker 3. Each printer is going to do their own thing. Depending on what kind of printer you have, it might heat up the bed first, heat up the nozzle first. In this case, we're going to wait till the bed heats. The nozzle is going to heat up, and then it's going to go ahead and start printing. Pretty much wraps up the 3D printing process. All you gotta do is model, splice, make sure you have a 3D printer available. And once you're all set, parts printed, kind of check it out, tweak it, see what's different, see if you like how it came out. If you don't, tweak the settings a little. It's a little bit of experimenting. but it's also pretty fun. Again, thanks for joining us. I'm Fabian here at SOFWERX, and that was the 3D printing process.